Welcome to another video of Transforming Your Life with Ella and Marco. I am Ella and I am a mindset and manifestation coach, and this is my lovely partner Marco. Thank you for joining me again today.
You're welcome.
I'm excited. Today we'll be unpacking abundance and limiting beliefs, self-worth. We will be discussing how to use excitement as a compass in life and how to detach from an outcome. And what are we also discussing at the end of this video?
I'm going to give you a little self-hypnosis technique that you can practice and work with.
Exciting.
So I have a question. Abundance is quite a big thing. It's on everyone's lips at the moment. And I feel like a lot of people misunderstand the meaning of abundance. And when you speak about abundance, they immediately come to financial abundance, right? So for someone that struggles to feel the abundance around them, or someone that's trying to tap into the sensation of abundance, first of all, it's quite a heavy question. What is abundance to you? And how would you advise someone to feel it and to feel the sensation and tap into abundance?
I find it actually a beautiful question. So as you mentioned, abundance is not just financial abundance. I think if you want to connect to the sensation of abundance all around you, it is good to focus on an area in your life that you feel abundant in. So may it be love, or may it be support, may it be even the beauty that surrounds you. If you are as lucky as we are with the nature, we have so much gorgeous, magical abundance in our life. So that is a beautiful way to connect to abundance. Basically, the sensation of abundance is the security and the knowing that you are taken care of at any point in time. And with that, that you're able to do what you want when you want it. So if you connect to that sensation of abundance, then it is a lot easier to tap in also to financial abundance and start attracting that into your life. So a way for me to do that personally is I love walks in nature and just take that in. And a good question there is, but how do you then connect to the frequency of abundance? What frequency is that on? That is a question that I receive so many times. And that is actually quite easily answered. When you experience the abundance, when you feel that beautiful wholesomeness just embodying every cell of your being, that you just connect to that, when you're connected to that sensation, you're connecting to the frequency of abundance.
I also feel like a lot of people are trying to feel abundance outside of them, and it's a sensation you got to feel within you.
Correct.
So, and like you say, you just got to slow down. I think like that's what we're going to talk about quite a lot in the videos, is slowing down, reconnecting to yourself, and feel abundance in whatever aspect you currently have. Like Ella says, it could be the love that you have. So it could be the love from your friends, from your family, from people that are closest to you. Feel the abundance of support that you're getting. Also feel the abundance of self-love. Feel the abundance of energy and life that you have through you. And I think that at the end of this video, when we share the self-hypnosis technique, that will also help you to tap into the sensation of abundance.
I think also a beautiful thing to add to that is an amazing way to attract abundance into your life is connecting to the sensation of gratitude. If you practice gratitude, and every single person will have something, even if it is the tiniest thing, they will have something to be grateful for. And the more that you focus on that sensation of gratitude, the more that you connect to the sensation of abundance, because gratitude is basically the gateway to abundance. The more that you practice gratitude, the more that you will get to be grateful for in your life.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. That is, I think, a very good point to start. If you don't know how to connect to the frequency of abundance, practice gratitude. I will say that over and over again because that is.
So how would you practice gratitude? How do you personally practice gratitude?
Well, a couple physical practices that you can do is you can start a gratitude journal that in the morning when you wake up, you can just write down a couple things that went well the previous day and maybe things that you are just extremely grateful for that they are happening right now in your life. Or if you're not in a good situation, that you point out your small areas of light that you can still focus on, because the more that you focus on those little areas of light in your life, the more that you actually enlarge them.
Yeah, I guess it also depends on what you focus on. Like you're saying, if you focus on all the lack and the problems you have in your life, that's what you would illuminate, and that's what you would feel is the biggest thing surrounding you. You know what I mean? So you'd think that you have an abundance of problems or an
Correct.
abundance of struggles or limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like a mindset shift, but it takes time because you're automatically focusing on the lack or your problems.
Yeah.
So I have to first consciously focus on the beauty in your life. And like you say, no matter how small it is, because it is around you, it's all around you. There's unlimited love and support and abundance around you. You just have to open your eyes and start seeing it, no matter how small it is. And like a gratitude journal is something you can start off with. So write down even the smallest wins, the smallest things that you appreciate, and work from there.
Yeah. Correct.
And once you start shifting your mind, you'll start seeing automatically more abundance. You might even start seeing synchronicities, seeing how little things actually were really meant for you.
Yes.
I
think it is also a beautiful explanation to just point out that sometimes people that from the outside, they seem as if they live an abundant life. Everything is working out for them. But their mindset is so focused to point out everything that goes bad. From the outside, they look as if they have the most perfect life, but their mind is focusing on the darkness and they are enlarging that.
Yeah.
Even though some people that might live in absolute poverty, but they find joys and gratitude in the smaller things in life, and that is what they focus on, they will have a much bigger, abundant mindset. And it is basically how we perceive our daily life in what type of mindset and frequency we tap into.
I feel like this is also a good time to talk about the scripts that we give ourselves. Because your perception of life, what you see and what you enlarge, is a script that you've told yourself over and over again.
Correct.
So if you keep telling yourself that, for an example, what could be a lack sentence that you tell yourself? I am unloved, for example, or I am unhappy, right? That's a script that you keep telling your mind. And your mind has one job, right? Well, one of the jobs is to justify the script you're telling yourself. So if you keep telling yourself something negative, your mind is then going to nitpick everything in your reality
And amplify it.
to prove to you that, all right, what you've been telling me is true, right? That's why you and I could look at the same thing, but see different things.
Very much so.
Because the story I tell myself is what my mind sees. So if you start telling yourself like I'm abundant, for example, and you start telling yourself more beautiful, more things that are in line with who you are and your purpose, you'll notice that your mind will start nitpicking that to justify the script. Everything is a script. What are you telling yourself? So whatever you are feeling is basically a script that you've told yourself over and over and over again, and that your mind has proven to you that's right.
Yeah.
Whether you believe it's right or wrong, either way, you're correct.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And I think that this is also a beautiful example because you mentioned it with love, but this is exactly also what happens when people are in a lack mindset, because they convince themselves, I always struggle to pay those bills. I always don't have enough money to do what I want. This is literally an affirmation that is just the script that you just mentioned.
The script. And your mind is going to start nitpicking at that.
Yes.
And proving it that you're right. So start saying something like, I always have money. Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. However, you kind of want to tell yourself this new script. Then your mind will start picking at things that you never knew were actually there. They were always there, but you just needed to change the script, to change the direction that your mind must focus on,
Yeah.
and show you as evidence of the script.
Yes.
So
this was a topic that came to surface recently. It is all good and well to talk about abundance and connect to that sensation of abundance. But what if you are stuck in an absolute lack mindset? How would that influence, do you think, your view of abundance if you want to start changing that?
Oh, well, there's a lot of different practices that you can do, but the only thing is that if you're not actually stuck, it's just something that you've practiced over and over and over and again, and you have now perfected a lack mindset. So you just have to start chipping away at it. There's so many different practices out there. I don't even really know which one to suggest. Which one would you suggest to start off with?
Well, what I would do is really recognize where you are. Just bring yourself back to the present, right here and right now, because basically every worry and every fear that is installed within you is a reflection from the past. You might be in a situation that is very daunting, but it doesn't mean that a solution can't be shown when the time is right.
Yeah.
So basically what I do when there is a financial blockage or I get a financial hurdle, it is truly to remember that we are a divine being. And when you stop yourself in, for instance, now because abundance and now financial abundance is the topic, is when you say, I am a divine being and this bill will be paid in divine order, because you never know where the solution can suddenly present itself.
Yeah. And I feel like that's also where this practice that we're going to mention is also pretty good, because you can't change your mindset or manifest anything that you want if you're deep or stuck in a low vibration. If you've got all these layers of negative thoughts and negative beliefs and negative emotions, you first have to slow down again, peel those layers back. I think because when you're in that mindset, it seems impossible. I've been there. I've been there where you're in the terrible mindset and you feel horrible about yourself, and and then it's difficult to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Understandably, how are you supposed to see that if you've got all these different layers in front of your eyes? But once you slow down and peel it away, that's why mindfulness is so important.
Very much so.
Every day, I would say, depending, every day, it's good to have some sort of a practice where you're just slowing down. You're unplugging from the world, you're quieting your mind. It's kind of like we said earlier in the previous video, clearing your cookies, clearing your cache, emptying out your recycle bin, just doing some string cleaning. That's it.
Yeah.
Because when you reset and you feel reconnected to yourself and you feel the abundance around you, that's when you're magnetic. That's when you can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Very, very true. With that, also, limiting beliefs, they are justified by ourselves, as you just mentioned.
Yeah.
But it is also important to not just point it out. It is, how can we change our limiting beliefs? How is it possible, if you are so convinced and you've received so much evidence left, right, and center, to start peeling that back? How can one do that when they are really far down and they really are ready for a change in their life? Is there something that you initially think that, what is the first step that you would take?
Well, one thing I would like to say is that if you do discover that you have a limiting belief, don't drown in it.
Identify with it. Yeah.
Don't identify with it. Don't illuminate it and then just wear it. I mean, say thank you. Show gratitude that you actually found something that's holding you back, and then use it as kind of like a sense of excitement that I'm going to let this go. Because it's so simple that when we're meditating or we're talking to a friend or something pops up and you realize, whatever it is. There's something that's holding you back. And then you feel terrible. You shouldn't. You know, as you notice, it'd be like, ooh, thank the moment that you're like, all right, I found something. You know, because we have so many unconscious
Programming.
that we're not aware of. So now if it comes to the surface, now you're aware of it and you can fix it and you can change it.
Yeah.
So I would like to revert the question back to you. What would be the first step for you? I guess it also depends on the limiting belief and what your beliefs are.
Yeah, so I think it is also very important to point out that limiting beliefs sometimes are already installed in us when we are at a very, very young age. So this can be even programming from the parents that are laid upon us. This can be very unconscious, but this can be just in a way of living that has been done for so long. So it feels so natural to us. So it feels like it is part of us,
Yeah.
but actually it has been instilled upon us. It is not who we truly are. So when you look at rewriting your script or the person that you actually really want to be, you can start to adjust the person that you are today. Now, this is not something that, okay, I'm going to rewrite right now exactly who I want to be, and I am going to change all my behaviors and completely step into that person. There are definitely people that can do that, but this is a hard practice.
Yeah.
So just to make it a little bit easier as to how this can be done is just have a look at the person that you want to become and this version of yourself that you want to step into. And you notice that you have certain limiting beliefs that are holding you back from achieving that. You have to have a look in the sense of how is that person behaving versus the person that would behave that I want to become. Then you look at the belief that is connected to that behavior and you say, does this belief actually still resonate with me? Is this
Does
something
this serve me?
does this serve me at all? And often the answer is no, this absolutely not. It is just part of the rocks that I put in this backpack that I'm carrying with me right now. And when you are ready to start to let go and really realize that this whole belief system is based on just an idea that was instilled upon us back in the days, then you just like, okay, this doesn't resonate with who I truly am.
Yeah.
And that would automatically actually motivate us to change our behavior to become the person that we want to become. And when you notice that your behavior still isn't changing, it's often because there is some sort of ground core belief that we still haven't found yet.
Yeah.
And that, well, a lot of times has to do with self-worth.
Yeah. 100%. But also, I guess, I guess it depends on what the limiting beliefs is. But there's so many different practices you can do. Inner child healing. You can do hypnosis. You can do self-hypnosis. You can do meditation. Ella also does have some really nice meditations that helps you to connect with abundance. It helps you release limiting beliefs. There's so many different practices and stuff you can do.
Yes.
But like I said, just remember that when you do find something, don't identify with it, don't drown in it. Be grateful that you found it. Because a lot of times that's, how do I say it? It's not nice when you feel that you're stuck or you feel like you're being held back and you don't know why. You know what I mean? The uncertainty of why. What's holding me back? Why can't I just live the life of my dreams? Not knowing is worse than knowing. So be grateful that you found it.
Yeah.
And then work with it. Yes.
I really want to address the area of self-worth. I really want to highlight what self-worth actually means. And it's a topic on its own because I've realized that so many people, they adjust their self-worth according to the situation that they are in right now, or things that people have told them and they have started to believe, or just a whole bunch of circumstances that have just led your self-worth to go absolutely down the drain. We all, at one point of time, we were this beautiful, pure creature that was full of confidence, thought that we were going to be some sort of superhero in this world. We felt invincible. And down the line, that many times got broken down left, right, and center because we were told certain things, or we were held back from certain things because other people might not have believed in us, and we started to believe that.
Yeah.
And with that, self-worth suddenly starts to go lower and lower and lower.
Yeah. You have to believe that you're worth, that you deserve everything.
But you like that
Yeah.
that is the inherent thing, that is the base core belief. Is, I will say this, if you look at the rest of my content, you will see that that is something that I emphasize so tremendously, because every single one of us, we are so worthy of attracting our deepest desires, and our desires are there for a reason. I truly believe that we would not have a desire if it is not meant for us. But the thing is, we put those limitations on ourselves to actually achieve those desires. And when we start to allow ourselves, when we start to see ourselves as worthy to really grab those desires into our lives, then that will happen.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of work that sometimes needs to be done.
Yeah. I feel like this is also a good time to say that when you're trying to consciously manifest what you want, right? There are those limiting beliefs that come up. Pay attention to those beliefs. Write it down. That's what I did.
Yeah.
You know, I would sit and try and visualize what I want, and then limiting beliefs or self-doubt or self-worth or whatever will pop up. You know, and instead of identifying with them, like, oh, there's another one, and I wrote it down, and I wrote it down, and I wrote it down, and then I looked, and then I was like, oh, that's the script. You can smack it together into a sentence and figure out there's the script, and that's the programming that's holding you back. And then what you can do is rewrite that into something positive, currently positive, instead of saying like, oh, I can't afford that, or I don't deserve that, or whatever it is. Write it to like, I can afford that. I do deserve that. I'm a being of light, and I deserve to have my desires. I deserve to feel the abundance around me. I deserve love. I deserve to give love. You know?
And most of all, connect to the feeling of it. Really feel that you are deserving. Really feel that that is in line with you.
Yeah. So write it down in positive, and then kind of put what you want on ice for a moment, and then just chant that. Use that as like the affirmations. You know, say it over and over again until you feel the deservingness.
Yeah.
Until you feel the love. You know, just like I said, write it down, switch it into something positive, and then make sure that you're addressing that.
Yeah.
You make sure that, because that is what you're lacking to manifest what you want.
Correct.
So now when you manifest it again, make sure you're ticking off those sensations.
Yes.
In a positive light.
Yes. Yes, I think it is also with what you're describing right now, with this basically this inventory of thoughts. It is very good to get an overview for yourself, to see what still serves you and what you identify with what you've written down. So with that, it is also really good to say, does this belong to the person that I want to become? Absolutely not. This doesn't serve me at all. I actually don't even know why I believe this. Why did this even come up to my conscious thinking right now? And by creating that inventory of thoughts, you are really able to separate who you want to become, and like the version of you that was in the past and that has brought you to this point of time, so you can be grateful for that, but say thank you, but no longer.
I have quite a cool idea of a meditation I think you and I should record.
Please tell me.
How to step into the ideal version of yourself. So the idea of what I have in mind is kind of like using your own meditation practice, all the technique we're going to show you, all the audio that we're going to create now. Using that, centering yourself, you know, coming down, going under, and then seeing the future version of yourself that you want to become, your ideal person, the person you aspire to be, right? And then going into detail, like I mentioned to you before, what traits does this person have? So first of all, seeing who you want to be and what this person has, right? Or how do they act? In detail, you're kind of writing a checklist in your mind. How do they act? How do they present themselves? How do they feel about themselves? You know, what do they see in their life? What do they have? What are they doing? Right? and then figuring out, all right, what practices does this person have? What discipline does this person have? What habits does it have? Kind of really tapping into that, because I feel like you might find an answer of something that's missing in you right now, a big thing, right? And
I
then
love his creative mind.
and then and then you step into that person. You become that person. Once you kind of, in every single little detail, once you see everything that makes this person, right? You kind of like imagine them as like a wetsuit or a sleeve.
Yeah,
you know?
sleeve. It is kind of the
A sleeve,
yes.
and then you just climb into that person, and you adopt and adapt and absorb all that beautiful characteristics that this person has, and let it cement into your current being.
I think it is actually it is a 2.0 version of the empty shell meditation that is within the 21-day challenge.
Yeah, I think this will be a nice one for us to create.
I'm really looking forward to it. Okay. That is cool. I love the idea.
I like that.
Yes. Cool. Yes. So definitely also another topic that I want to discuss in this video is the whole sense of excitement and joy, and how one is able to use that as a compass in life.
I think there's a book that you should read. We read it, but we want to really read it again, because this is quite a big topic amongst the two of us at the moment.
Yes.
Your excitement, following your excitement, your passion, your inspiration. And the book is called The Alchemist. If you have read it before, read it again. We're going to read it again.
Yes.
If you haven't read it, who is it from? Paulo
Coelho.
Yes. The Alchemist from Paulo Coelho.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant, brilliant read.
It's one of those gems that you just...
Yeah, and I just love the story. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just such a beautiful style of writing.
It is very...
It's interesting how the teachings of that book has become so prominent to us now, to the point that we want to read it again.
Yes.
And I feel like we would see other little messages that we missed when we read it the first time. So, following your excitement.
So yes, where our focus lies and with which project we actually put our energy into. Because for me, it is so important to connect to the heart energy. And especially if I'm combining that with the mind, that is when I notice that my productivity enhances tremendously. So if I feel that I am extremely excited to do something, that is when I will find myself in a flow. That is when I really will start to do what I'm kind of meant to do. It feels as if excitement comes from a higher power or a higher source that just guides us in a direction.
Yeah, it could be your higher mind, your higher self. It could be universe or whatever you
Spirit
feel.
guides, whatever you call it.
I feel like people got to pay more attention to their heart, because your emotions, because that's the language of the universe. Is it's energy. It's not verbal. It's energy. It's feeling, right? So that's all about, like, what are you manifesting is what's the feeling that you're putting out, the predominant feeling you're putting out. And I feel like what we're talking about, you're following your excitement, your inspiration,
Your passion.
what feeling are you absorbing? What feeling are you receiving?
Yes.
And so what are you putting out is what you manifest, and what you're receiving from whatever is the messages.
Yes.
It's like the messages to say, like, this is what you should follow, and this is what you should do, and this is the path that you should take.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Follow your passion in life. If you are in your daily routine and you do the same thing over and over again, then it is almost as if you can predict what is going to happen tomorrow.
You can't blame people for doing that, because that's what they want. They want predictability. It's safe.
It is safe.
And that's why they do that. They're too afraid to live the life, of excitement, because it's the fear of the unknown, or the fear of rejection. It's the fear of, am I going to fail? Or, it's...
But that's the thing. When you step into the realm of excitement, and if you want to manifest things into your life, you will have to step out of the predictable future. You will have to step out of the comfort zone, and you will have to step into the unknown, because that is the realm where you create. That is the realm where you start attracting things into your life, and where you really can create magic.
There's still that saying that says life begins at the end of your comfort zone.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's so true.
I need to just make a little loop here right now, because I feel that one thing we haven't mentioned at all about abundance and about manifesting abundance is that within this routine that we are creating, if we want to manifest something into our life, we often manifest this from a space of lack because we don't have this. And this is actually a very, very important topic that we have to address, because if you want to manifest, if it is financial abundance, or if it is love, or if it is security, then, and that is why this exercise is also going to be so tremendously helpful, is because it is leveling the playing fields. Basically, what you are doing when you want to manifest something into your life, you want to raise yourself to that frequency in order to attract it. You don't want to chase it, you want to attract it into your life. And when you're manifesting something out of lack, it is as if you're putting it on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And by putting it on a pedestal,
It's always out of reach.
it is always out of reach.
Yeah, it's just there.
But
it's not here.
No.
You can't grab it.
No. So imagine the thing. If you are desperately in love with somebody and you really want to have them as your partner, you are putting them up on a pedestal. What can you do is like turn the roles around and imagine that person desiring you. You are leveling the playing fields. If you want to manifest money into your life, imagine that you have it already. And they always say money makes money. So imagine, connect to that feeling of that abundance, and not of I don't have any money right now and I need money. The needing. Needing is
what you're sending out.
Yes.
That's the message you're sending out. I don't have. And that's what you're gonna attract more.
Exactly.
Not having.
No.
So there's also that saying is that you mustn't think of what you want. You must think from what you want.
Yes.
So don't think of it as if you don't have it. And that's why also like doing this mindfulness practice and practicing abundance or whatever, you must feel it as if you already have it. But also see what you currently have in your life. So even if you're financially stuck, you have a roof over your head that you're paying for. You're paying for food. You're paying for fuel in your car. Like, focus on what you can afford and what you have been able to afford, and then focus on that gratitude that you have. That and enlarge that you have money and you have been able to buy whatever you needed at the time. Even though there's obviously other things you still want to buy, but like you say, you have to think from it. Don't think of it.
Yes. It is exactly the same with you and your Harley Davidson. Was the whole thing of I want this Harley. Just imagine. No, you know what? It's not I have the Harley. I imagine riding it right now.
Oh, I love it. I can feel it. I can just feel the handlebars. I can hear the brum brum. Oh, it's coming.
Yes.
It's coming. Well, we're going to have to post a video with me and the fat smile.
On the Harley. It is great.
Oh, yeah.
No,
it's not coming. It's here.
It's here.
It's here. It's parked outside.
It's parked outside.
I've got the keys somewhere.
Love it. So back to excitement and following your excitement in life, because this is basically, it has to do with several steps of how you follow your excitement in life, and that is basically.
So can I interrupt you?
Yes.
Please? I just would like to say your excitement. Why are your excitement? I feel like your excitement is okay. So remove the word. We'll work with the sensation. It's something that brings you joy. It brings you excitement. It makes you feel happy and connected and whatever that is, right? And that feeling is aligned with you.
Yes.
You understand? So that alignment of energy, that alignment of frequency is a very good indicator that is what you should do. Well, that is what you should follow, and give it a try. Why not?
So that was a great question that I received was, yeah, but what if I follow this excitement and it turns out to be a horrible outcome?
Yeah, a lot of people are going to now overcomplicate it between excitement and logic.
Yes.
Well, what's logic and what is excitement?
So
you had a very good answer.
Yeah. So the thing is, if you are truly excited for something in that moment of time, even if you are excited for several things and you don't know what to choose, really tap into yourself. to just gauge what is the thing that you're slightly more excited about. And there you will find yourself always making the best decision for you at that right moment of time. So if the outcome is not preferred, believe me, you will regret it more of not trying it than actually going through it.
You would have always wondered,
Yeah.
what if I did that?
Yes,
You
exactly.
might have even thought that I should have done that and my life would have been different. At
Exactly.
least you did it.
Exactly. You did it. And with that, if it is an outcome that is not preferred, then believe me, you will learn a lesson there.
Yeah.
Within following your excitement, it is also really important to let go of the outcome.
So I think there's a few simple steps that we can break this down to. So first of all, follow your excitement, right? And follow it to the best of your capabilities.
Yes.
Until you physically cannot anymore.
Yes.
Right. So how do we give this as an example? All right. So say now your excitement is to write a book. Write that damn book. Start.
Yes.
Right. Write it until you cannot. Something is blocking you. Right. Maybe whatever it is, you cannot write anymore. Right. Then that's when the next step comes up. But we're going to chip back into it now. The next step is, no matter what happens, you have to stay positive. Right. So let me explain. Now, don't get frustrated because there's a blockage in a way that you can't follow your excitement anymore. The blockage is there for a reason, right? So don't get hung up that you can't follow it anymore. Don't get hung up that you can't write your book. So stop, acknowledge, all right, there's nothing I can do. It's out of my control. Then center yourself, slow down and think, what else can I do that will bring me a little more excitement? No matter how silly it is, right? Even if it's, for example, now walking on the beach. Say, no, it's a beautiful day or not, and I really feel like walking on the beach. Go ahead and do it. Then you might be walking on the beach, absorbing the beauty around you. And then, for example, I always use this example, but for example, you walk past a couple that's sitting and chatting on the beach, and then you overhear the conversation, and then all of a sudden you get inspiration from what they said. And now that inspiration, like, hang on, that's it. This is now something I can include in my book. You understand what I'm kind of getting from? So follow your excitement until you cannot. When you cannot, don't get upset. Think about, all right, what else can excite me right now? Then follow that. And then here's the spanner in the works. All right? Follow your excitement without any persistence or insistence of the outcome.
Exactly.
Why? It's that if you are following your excitement and we automatically can imagine like how this can make money and how this can become a passion or a career or whatever, right? Now you could be insisting or creating the outcome from a point of lack or from a point of ego or from a point of perspective or limiting beliefs, whatever it is, right? Now, the universe actually knows what is meant for you. You understand? So your outcome could be way smaller than what you're actually destined for. So also it for me, I really like this practice because then I don't have to think too much about what I'm going to do and where it's going to go. You're focusing solely on doing what you love, doing what excites you, doing what inspires you. That is a journey on its own, and that's daring for a lot of people to do, and that should bring you joy as is. Just follow that, flow with it, do something else, move with that. And then synchronicities will guide your path, right? And the more you do this, the stronger of a connection you have with source or universe or whatever that's sending you signals, sending you signs. At the moment, you might be a little confused with this, like, is this like my excitement? There's a lot of things I want to do. Start. And the more you start, the more you follow your passion, the more you align with yourself, the more you align with universe and the abundance that's around you, the clearer the signals will be. The more you would see and notice the synchronicities, the more excitement it would bring, the more momentum you would pick up, the more it will make sense and it will start unfolding as to what beauty this path is going to lead to.
Yes, I think that is really inviting magic into your life, because at some point in the beginning, when you start with this and when you start to notice synchronicities, you might believe that you're losing your marbles. that is absolutely something that I find it hilarious. All the stories that I'm getting, you won't believe what just happened to me. It's just like, oh, really?
But it's so nice though. When
It
you really
is.
start seeing the synchronicities, that's when you
Yes.
really feel connected.
Yes.
When you feel connected to yourself, when you feel connected to people around you, when you have that moment, it's like, oh, holy moly, I think I'm on my path. This just seems to be working.
Yeah.
You know, I feel good. People start noticing a difference in you. And dude, you feel like you look at you're so much brighter. You're so much happier. It's just, it's such a wonderful feeling. Then you feel connected
Yes.
to yourself and to God and to your angels and to, whatever it is.
Whatever it is. Yes.
It's a beautiful feeling. Start.
Start.
Don't overcomplicate it. Just do it. Right?
Yeah.
And then Ella always says, she always comes up with these brilliant things. It really makes me feel like, yeah, right. Okay. There's a lot of scriptures like, I'll start when, right? We put these limits on because we all want to start perfect. I want to start recording when I have the nice camera and the lights and the mic and, right? You're always, again, putting it without reach. There's always an obstacle.
Yeah. Basically, it is so important to work with what you've got. To start, yes. So don't say, I will do this when this happens, or I will finally be happy once I have this, or like this is exactly what you said with love the life you live while
You
building.
create the life of your dreams. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So look around you. What can you use right now that will assist you in the direction of what you want to ultimately create? But everything that you do, all the actions that you take right now are chipping off towards your ultimate goal.
Inevitably, you're starting. You're
Exactly.
doing it.
Start right now. So it is not one day, it is now day one. It is day one of me achieving the dream. It is day one of me going on that trip that I've always
all fall
wanted to
into
do.
place.
Yes.
Because you're on your path.
You're on your path.
Yeah.
So you're not pushing your path away and limiting yourself from actually starting. No, you're starting right now
Yeah,
with
just
the
start.
tools that you have.
It might not have the perfect camera, the perfect lights. Just grab your
Phone.
Just grab your phone and hold it.
Yes.
And just be like, this is my first video.
Yes.
I should take this advice. I actually start my own channels. So
Can I please gain support from you? And I think that this YouTube channel is going to be such a great step already in the right direction, because this man has so many beautiful things to say, as you can hear. And
I'm like that. I will start when. Because I want everything to be perfect.
Yes.
And I feel like this is something that I need to share. Right? So there is, I'm not going to mention names, but there is someone that I've been following for quite a while, learning about Ho'oponopono and law of attraction. All right? He's quite famous. I'm sure you guys know who he is. I'm not going to mention names or whatever. And I noticed something about him. I don't really like the way he teaches. Right? I love the message. I don't like the way he teaches. Right? Also, the quality sometimes is not so good, or the music that he records is not so good, and whatever. But what I like about him is that he did it.
he
He does it. He's got so many courses. He's written so many books. He's recorded so many albums. Even though I don't like it, the fact that he didn't get hung up on the quality of it. He had a dream. He had inspiration. He had excitement, and he did it. He's a doer. He's got so much going for him because he did it.
Yes.
And that blew my mind. I was like, you know what, dude? Let go of starting off perfect.
Yeah.
Or let go of starting off and looking great and saying the right thing and whatever. Just start.
Yeah.
Just do it, and you'll create that momentum. It'll be easier. No matter what you want to do, you've got that momentum going. You're unstoppable. You're just...
It is absolutely true. It doesn't matter in the end. Again, you will regret the things that you didn't do.
Exactly.
Rather than the things that you did.
Yeah.
So it is because...
You'll always wonder.
Yeah, you will always wonder. And you always learn from the things that you actually did do.
Even you did it. Like this guy I'm talking about. He's done so much. I've done compared to him. And I'm just like, respect.
Yeah, no, it is
the fact that you actually
absolutely.
did it. You didn't care and you did it. Brilliant.
Yeah, no, it is beautiful. It is beautiful to see when people start to step into their power, and it is like letting go of the whole concept of perfection. It is so beneficial when you step into your passion and when you can really start to create with the tools that you have, with what you have around you. And bit by bit, you will get better at what you do. But it is all a learning process. So this is where the what do you call it? Analysis paralysis is that you
Oh,
over
too
analyze
much.
things
Too
so
much.
that you actually stop yourself from doing the things that you truly want to do.
But I feel like also when you get into analysis paralysis, that also could be because you're hung up on the outcome.
So that is
You're
where it
hung
is
up on the
important.
outcome. Will this come out great? Will this come out perfect? Will people accept me? Will people listen to what I have to say? Who am I? Imposter syndrome. You know what I mean? So you're all hung up on the outcome. Again, don't get hung up on that.
No.
Just start. The
Yeah.
more you start, the more you do, it will automatically perfect itself.
Yeah.
It will. You are already the perfect being as is.
Yes.
And who you are a few years ago and who you are going to be in a few years from now. And you're not more or less perfect. You're just a different kind of perfect.
Exactly.
So
Oh, yes, this is a beautiful topic, and I think that it is just good as a reminder for a lot of people, because I think a lot of people are holding themselves back because they put so many limits on themselves, and the when is such a big contributor. And when you take the when out and when you just start to do, and everything falls into place.
it does. Also, I feel like we also compare ourselves to the people that we idolize or the people that we follow. And they started where we are as well. They started.
Exactly.
Don't worry about that. Forget
No.
of so let go of the outcome. No persistence, no insistence. Start.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I think this is a great time to step into the practice.
I think so too.
I love it. I'm excited.
All right. So this is a self-hypnosis technique, pretty much an induction, right? That I'm about to share with you guys. It's such a beautiful technique. I really like it because it's adaptable. It's not restrictive. What I like about it is that you have to sit where there is sound. For example, a lot of people have resistance towards outside sounds. Or when you're doing a meditation or whatever, they normally say, sit, make sure you're sitting somewhere where you won't be disturbed or somewhere quiet. This is different. You are submerging yourself in your senses, and the benefit of that is that when you are under and you're focusing on whatever you want to focus, if there's a new sound or a new movement or whatever, it doesn't pull you out because you're submerged into it. And I've also, in the beginning, you'll see I incorporated a breathing technique from Dr. Andrew Huberman. It's quite a nice breathing technique. This also helps to instantly relieve anxiety and stress. Funny enough, if you pay attention to dogs, if you have dogs, they do a very similar breathing. It's
Oh, I didn't actually pay attention to that.
Well, watch Bayoka.
Huh.
You'll see.
Cool.
Dogs do that when they lay down.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So very similar.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes. So you can do it with us. And we're not going to go too deep into it. This is more kind of like explaining, but it's also really nice to do it with someone. I noticed that. I always just do it alone. But since I've been doing it with Ella or with friends or family, it's actually pretty nice. You can do this alone, you can do this with someone. Right. So ideally, this wouldn't be the place for us to do it because it's very quiet in here. So sit outside. Sit outside. No matter how noisy it is, I promise it won't bother you. Eventually, once you've gone through the loops a few times, make sure you're in somewhere beautiful where there's a lot of things to see as well. So what you're going to do is make sure you're nice and comfortable. Your back is nice and supported, and you can relax. Now, before you start, you need to take a mental picture of everything around you. So notice, like for example, what I see is the microphone, the light, the phone. I see my instruments. I see the objects on the table. Make sure you need to take a mental picture of what you see, because you're going to identify it when your eyes are closed. Okay? So once you're familiar with your surroundings, you can start. What you're going to do is make sure you're comfortable, and you're going to start by bringing your eyes up to the ceiling, to the roof, to the sky, whatever. You need to bring it up to a point where you start feeling strain on your eyes, but not too much that it's uncomfortable. What this does is it floods your brain with alpha brain waves and helps you to relax. Right? So you bring your eyes up, and what you're going to do is you're going to take a deep breath in, and then you're going to force one little quick breath in as well. Hold it, and then slowly release through your mouth. Let's do it together. Ready? So deep breath in. So that you're going to do 3 times, but we'll do one more. And on the 3rd time, as you exhale, you close your eyes gently. And let your breathing just return to normal. For a moment, just sit with all the sounds, the relaxing sensation. Acknowledge that you're taking this moment just to unwind. Now you need to bring your mental image to the front of your eyes, as if your eyes are open. Your eyes are still closed, but now with memory, you need to look at your surroundings. Then, using a hypnotic voice, you're going to say to yourself out loud or in your mind, I can see, and then identify something. Right? So you can say, for example, I can see my phone on the table. Then if you have someone with you, they can go. So Ella, give an example.
I can see the guitar standing in the corner of the room.
Yes. If you're alone, you want to do that 3 times. Nice and slow, using a hypnotic voice. 3 things you can see. Full sentences. Okay? After that you say, I can hear. Right? So for example, imagine we're outside and you say, I can hear the wind in the trees. Then if someone is with you,
I can hear the birds chirping.
Mm-hmm. So you're doing that 3 times. 3 times each, or 3 times on your own. After that, you're then going to say, I can feel. So for example, you could say, I can feel my weight on the cushion that I'm sitting on. And then?
I can feel my sweater on my arms.
Mm-hmm. Now, that's one loop. I can hear, I can feel, I can see. It doesn't really matter the order. Okay, that's one loop. You have to do it 3 times, at least. What you'll notice is that you will feel yourself sinking deeper and deeper. And then the sounds and the sensations and the sight will become so peaceful. It's such a wonderful feeling that you can just sit there, right? But remember, now when you start with I can see again, you have to say something different. This is, first of all, what's great about this, it's focused attention. Because if I tell you just sit there, be quiet in your mind is going to wander. This is now you practicing focused attention. And by you being forced to label different things, it's forcing you to really focus, right? Especially the one when you're listening. So you name 3 sounds. And then when you do it again, you stay there and you listen until you can find another sound. You know?
Yeah, it's beautiful that you focus on the sounds that are further and further away. You'd actually be surprised at what you can pick up if you really sit in that silence.
You'll hear a sound in the distance that you wouldn't have heard otherwise, right? Don't be too hung up on it being perfect, right? If you can't remember what you see, just do a quick little beep. Just a quick, and then say, oh, I remember there's my laptop sitting on the table. Perfectly fine. So do, like I said, 3 senses. I can hear, I can see, I can feel. 3 times, 3 loops. All right? From there, you can do whatever you want. Because this is a self-hypnosis session, you are pretty much now then in, I wouldn't say that you're in theta just yet. I would say you're in alpha, just an extremely relaxed state, right? From there, you can do whatever you want. You can sit further in that sensation because it's such a peaceful place to be. For me, I just like to listen. Just to listen to all the sounds. I like to let my senses just create as if my eyes are open, the surroundings around me. You know, another nice thing you can do is then listen. First of all, count how many sounds you hear. It's really nice to do this if you are in nature, where there's a whole diverse soundscape around you. You know, so count how many sounds you hear, and then start from the closest sound to the furthest sound, one by one. Then come back, do it again, and then you'll see how deep in the state of hypnosis you are, how deep in the state of trance you are. And then from there, you can then consciously manifest what you want. From there, you can then work with affirmations. You know, the affirmations that you wrote down that were not serving you in a positive way. You can visualize your dream life. What else would you put in? Anything.
Connect to gratitude. I think that is a great time to really invite the sensation of gratitude inside.
Yes. Yeah. You can then feel, because you're so surrounded by these sensations, right? It's then pretty easy to feel the gratitude and feel the abundance around you, the abundance of sounds, the abundance of movement and senses and smells and everything. You can also use this time to pray if you want to pray. You can use this time to connect to God or to your angels or to universe. Yeah. You can use this time to connect to yourself. When you say, I can feel, one of the nice things I like to do, I can feel my heartbeat. And you can feel it. I can feel my breath expanding and contracting. I can feel life pouring through me. Practice it, do it. I would say you can do it with inspiration, so whenever you feel inspired to do so, or do it every day. I do it generally about once a day, twice a day sometimes. And then from there,
even if you wake up with a bit of anxiety or
brilliant,
it is amazing. It really just helps you to reset, to just, it connects you to the present. It's so
peaceful.
Yeah.
And so relaxing. And the nice thing about this is that, like we say, it helps to peel away the layers.
Yeah.
You know, so whatever thoughts you have, whatever anxiety or uncomfort you have, this is such a nice practice. Just go peel it all off.
Yeah.
And then just to reconnect to yourself and whatever. And like I say, once you're in that state, you can sit in that state, or something inspirational will come to you.
Yes.
This is what I want to focus on. This is what I want to do. This is pretty much just the induction and the deepener. It's the beginning phases to get you where you want to be, for where the miracles happen.
Yes.
Where the inspiration comes in. And from there, you can do whatever you want. But just practice it over and over again. I guarantee you,
it has tremendous benefits.
It's amazing. It really is amazing. And it's nice to do it with someone. Because when they start identifying things that they can see, feel, and hear, it adds more to the picture.
Yes.
Things that you forgot was there, or things you didn't hear, or it's quite nice. So you can do it alone, or you can do it with someone. And don't do it quiet. Go sit in nature, sit next to traffic if you want. Wherever. So, yeah, yes. I think this is
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I think this is a good way to
yes,
to end this off.
Yes, I definitely also still want to put the invite to leave questions in the comments or send them to me on one of the other platforms in a DM. We happily dive into all the different topics, and in the next video I'll definitely touch upon some of the questions that have been sent already, so that is truly exciting, and I'm looking forward to the next video.
We got some work to do. We got some self-hypnosis or meditations. We'll see how it goes.
Yes.
Some audio to create.
Yes.
For you guys.
Really looking forward to that, and well, I have to say it right now because this is now a YouTube video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.